Alright, so I got some more hardener and I put another swipe of glaze on there. As big a puddle as I dared to mix at once, I got half the door. That's fine. That's fine. I'm pretty satisfied with how that went. I had a decent working time. Let's see if I actually put enough hardener in it because I was holding back. But anyway, so I wanted to say something about being a beginner at all this and learning from people. Let me rephrase that. Watching people that know what they're doing, hold hands at this, and they explain what they do and why they do it and all that. And in my experience, well, number one as a dumbass, but two as a beginner, it's probably one and the same thing. There's a gap between where I'm at and all the breadcrumbs that the experts leave. So it's like a big jump to get from where I am to at some of the techniques they talk about. And even, it's some of the, you're just starting out, so you might want to try it this way, blah, blah, blah. An example of that gap is when I was blocking my filler the first time through on the quarter panel. I would use guide coat and I would put it on the low spots. I would go beyond just the low spot, like I wasn't trying to just fill in the low spot, I was feathering it out, that kind of thing. And then when I block, I put guide coat on, and I block, and then I would get new low spots. And I was like, well, maybe those didn't show up because, whatever dumbass thing I thought. So I fill in those and I do the same thing and I get into the chasing my tail. The thing I did differently this time around is if it's not metal, it's not a high spot. So if it's, sanded filler and it looks good and it feels good, but there's no metal around it, it's a high spot. So you've got to come down until you find the metal and then you stop, that kind of thing. And I know people have said it, it's just that particular experience I had to learn the dumbass way. So, what else? Thought there was another thing I wanted to say. I don't know. And I know I'm going to hit it big time when I'm trying to spray paint. Fortunately, I've got another spraying experience. I've got primer to put on this. So at least 2 coats, maybe 3, until it all blocks straight. And just the guide coat comes off and I hit nothing but primer, then it would be ready to paint. The experienced people trying to give me advice as I try to figure out all the variables of the spray gun, because you got the temperature and humidity and all that crap influencing how the stuff works, and then you got speed, distance from the panel, the fan, the pressure at the cap, and all this stuff. So, and you fill in that knowledge gap with experience, I guess. It's just, just something that the new guy has to deal with. I have pretty high expectations of the job that I want at the end. So I'm putting what I can into it, and I don't mind doing it over, so long as it's not sanding off my paint job to do body work. That kind of thing. There are incremental steps. There's the body, there's the primer, there's blah, blah, blah. Each one of those steps, I can know that I got it right. So that's why, I don't mind doing this over. It can be expensive having to get more metal glaze, but, this is going to be the heavy side for that, but I'll do it over and over and over if I have to. So anyway, babbling. Kicking glaze. All you vampires out there are dead!